All right, what's up, YouTube Nation? I'm back. We're in a new room, new setting. Got some light up in here. Today's gonna be a different type of YouTube video. I noticed that pickup artists and quote unquote dating coaches don't want to make videos about how to be in athletic shape. Another thing that I think people don't talk about here on YouTube is how to protect yourself as a heterosexual man. I noticed that even in Midtown, they always talk about how to protect yourself, but nobody really wants to go far, deep in depth on multiple ways on how to protect yourself with the opposite sex. One talks about you need to do what they call a sound recorder. Another one is what happens when you have sex with a girl and you don't know if she has sexual transmitted diseases? You might want to get tested for AIDS and HIV. But we're going to talk about the first stage of how to protect yourself. Here I got some old kickboxing gloves from back in the day. Go ahead and show y'all. See? Look at these bad boys. I used to wear these when I did kickboxing and mixed martial arts. And I feel like that today in 2018, modern day time period, you hear a lot of men get called punks, bitches, he weak, he too soft, he too emotional. And I did say in the future video in the past that I was going to make a future video called How to Have Killer Instinct. So today's title is going to actually be called Sex Game, Fight Game. You know, you gotta have some game in the bedroom. But more importantly, you gotta have some fight game on the street. See, I figured it out. I figured out why 80% of men can't get the bitches and the hoes. A lot of guys ain't focused on their fight game. So I wanted to give you the first stage as a man how to protect yourself. If you're black or Latino, you should already know by now 99.99% of the time, the police is not going to come to the neighborhood on time. A lot of you guys like to date these super hot, attractive women that are 8s, 9s, and 10s, especially 10s. And a lot of times, these guys be trying to steal the women away from you. And what happens when you get in a physical altercation? What happens when someone threatens your life, with a weapon or outnumber you 5 to 1 or something like that? So I thought I would make a video to say not just your sex game is important, but your fight game is important. So I'm gonna share with you some boxing and some kickboxing, some MMA, to help you get started on how to protect yourself. This is only stage one. Stage two, I'm going to show you in another video what happens when you need to protect yourself with the opposite sex. That means I'm going to start going to the library and I'm going to start getting some information on how you can look at the Constitution Bill of Rights and what can you use if, let's say, a woman try to hit you with child support. That'll be stage two. Stage three gonna be another interesting video. So let's get started on the first video, shall we? Now, for a guy that likes beautiful, attractive black women, white women, Latino women, or Asian women, if you live in a dangerous environment, it's good for you to take some boxing and some mixed martial arts because that's the first stage of protecting yourself. If you get punked and bullied by bullies, then you're going to lose a lot of respect for women. Now, this is another way on how you can exert masculinity and how to assert yourself as a man. So let's focus on the physical aspects of it, shall we? So here I am putting on my old school kickboxing gloves. It has some boxing wraps somewhere around in here, but this will be a half and half video. Won't even take that long, I promise you. I know some of y'all wanna hear about the sex game more than you want to hear about the fight game. So bear with me. With some old beat down gloves. And I will be buying me some more punching gloves real soon. So let's go ahead and demonstrate for you. All right. Now I'm going to show you some boxing. I hope you guys can see this as I demonstrate the 1-2 punch combination. That's if you're doing boxing. See? Now, if you want to do kickboxing, it'd be this. And then if you want to do a back span punch, you would be like this at the center, and you would do this. So watch. Now for kickboxing. So that's what the fight game is. Now, that's how stage 1 is. Now, the reason why I call the title your sex game, fight game, is because I feel like a lot of men in the United States of America have been feminized to the point where they don't have no killer instinct. They don't know how to protect themselves out here. Imagine if you went to the movie theaters on Friday night, and your woman wanted you to get out of the car and go buy a box of popcorn. And you did it, and then about 5, 10, 15, 20 years, not 15, 20 years, but 15, 20 minutes later, some guy walk up and harass your woman. And he bigger than you, stronger than you, and faster than you. And you try to fight him off, but he beats your ass in front of your woman. Now, I'm going to tell you something that they don't want to tell you, the pickup artists and the dating coaches. But street fights occur at nightclubs. About 85 to 90% of the high-scale nightclubs, fights break out. And a lot of time those fights break out because guys are filling up on girls' ass, girls' breasts, and these men don't care if you're trying to take the girl out to have a good time. And then you get into a fight, somebody take a glass bottle and break it, and there you go, you fighting. So what I just showed you, I showed you some boxing and some kickboxing. The reason why I say this is because pickup artists and dating coaches are not going to teach you how to go to a gym and get into athletic shape. They don't talk about fitness. Another thing that pickup artists and dating coaches don't talk about is the fight game, how to protect yourself in the street. Because you're going to have to go to some of these areas if you live in Los Angeles, California, New York City, Chicago, New Orleans, Baltimore, Maryland. You got to go to some of these hardcore, rough places like Atlanta City, Atlanta, Georgia, and you're going to have to learn how to fight. Because you can't always grab your cell phone or your house phone or go to a payphone and call the police all the time. The response for the police is between 30 to maybe an hour, and it goes by how many miles the police department is located. If you live in the hood, you're looking at 10 to like 15 miles away from where you live at. That could be 30 minutes, that could be 45 minutes, that could be an hour before the response time comes. By the time they get there, you ever notice that by the time the police get there, the person, the predator or the criminal has already got away? That's because they were deciding to come on time or not to come on time. And your life will be in danger, and your life will be danger. Now, you ever been in a situation where you was getting ready to get you some pussy, and then some guy roll up on you and try to challenge you to a fight? Or he was looking at your woman and you got tired of him, so you confronted him, but then you found out he was too big, he was too strong, and I couldn't do no with him in a fist fight? Well, a lot of men get into fights because they're easy targets, they're easy marks. And as a martial arts expert, I felt like that I want to know why pickup artists and dating coaches don't want to talk about how a man should protect himself. there's three different ways a man should protect himself. One, he's got to learn some kind of boxing, some kind of martial arts. Two, if you're gonna have sex with women, use condoms and get tested for HIV. And like I said, I'm gonna make future videos on how important that is. So that's why the title is called Sex Fight Game. Your sex game, your fight game. If you can be good in the bedroom, you should be good in the street. If you're good at fighting in the street, you should be good in the bedroom. The worst thing that can ever happen to you as a man, and I'm not talking about as a player, I'm not talking about as a pickup artist or a dating coach, I'm talking about as a man. The worst thing that can happen to you is you get your ass whooped in front of your girlfriend. And I've seen some guys with some super hot, attractive women in 10 years, and then they get their ass handed to them in front of their girlfriend minutes before they get some ass, and then all of a sudden they get no ass because they got their ass whooped. And that's something that the pickup artists and the dating coaches do not talk about in their YouTube videos. They don't talk about that in their DVDs or in their books. They just want you to pay their money because you're so focused on I want ass that you forget all the other things that go into your development. There's a lot of things that go into your development. You know, getting a house, getting a car, getting a job, making money, going to the gym, staying in shape, and most importantly, learning how to fight. Because you see, you can't depend on the police to always come to the rescue. They help who they want to help, they save who they want to save. Now, they say it's supposed to serve and protect, and they do serve and protect, but there's going to come a time in your life where you may have to resort to using boxing or kickboxing. You might have to resort to it. Now, I'm just trying to put this in the video because I feel like this is a subject that doesn't get talked about on YouTube. I feel like that a lot of people need to be educated when it comes to the fight game. Now, I'm not saying you got to be Floyd Mayweather Jr., the greatest boxer of all times. I'm not saying you got to be Muhammad Ali. I'm not saying you need to be Brock Lesnar when he was in the UFC. What I'm saying is it's nice to protect yourself as a man. Women look up to men as strong, powerful providers. Now, I know we live in a feminist world, but it doesn't give you an excuse not to practice on your fight game. Because what happens if you get robbed or the girl you're trying to pursue gets robbed? Now, I know some midtowns will say in their videos, if the girl gets robbed, oh well. Well, in one case, yes, oh well, she should get robbed, oh well. But what if the guys that are trying to get laid get put in this predicament? Let's say there is no girl. Let's exclude the girl out of the way. Well, what happens when you get approached at a bank and you're trying to withdraw money out? You need to learn how to protect yourself. And this is the same thing when you go to foreign countries. So that's why I'm making the video. So that's what the fight game is. Now let's get back on the sex game. Now, some stuff that people wanted to ask me that I couldn't put in the other video. What is the best way to help your sex game? Well, you could run 5 to 10 miles. Another thing would be good is watching porn. And I'm going to make another YouTube video called Why is it good or not good to have sex with porn actresses and to watch porn? Because a lot of guys claim that their sex game in the bedroom is real good, but then when they get to the bedroom, the girl gets angry and dissatisfied because the man's game is so weak and so pathetic that all of a sudden she dumps him because he don't know how to F-U-C-K. There's a lot of men that claim they can work the girl's back. Women call it blowing their back out. Hold on, people. Sorry. I apologize for that. Every time I do a video, you get these jackasses that like to call for no apparent reason. To me, I wish they would just stop calling. You know, stop calling in the middle of the day when don't nobody wants you calling. Call all in the morning, call at night. It's like, stop that damn shit. Not when I'm doing a video. And a lot of guys claim that their sex game is good. And then when the opportunity presents itself, they can't do it. Like my best friend, I won't say his name because he's not here to defend himself, but he thinks very highly of himself and he be telling me he got a mad crush on a professional wrestler by the name of Nia Jax. And if you know who Nia Jax is, if you watch professional wrestling, if you watch WWE, and I always look at him like, dude, you talk a very good game, but when the opportunity presents itself, the question is, can you actually do what you say you're gonna do? Hold on, people. I apologize for that. Apparently, you get these morons that like to keep calling. They don't know what the word "stop calling" means. Like I said, you got people who think their sex game is on point, and they be saying stuff like, "I'm gonna eat the girl's pussy out. I'm gonna eat her butt out. I'm gonna show her that I can do the tongue." And I be looking at a lot of these people, not just my best friend, but men in general. I'd be like, you talk a good game, but what happens when it's time for you to actually perform your mic skills? Well, it's like playing basketball, right? You ever notice that the guy that talks the most shit on a basketball court thinks he's the man until he has to play a lot of defense, a lot of offense? That's when he finds out that he ain't the shit. You get a lot of people that say, "Oh, I could do that," that comes from a porno, and then all of a sudden they get their ass whooped. That's why I always say to my best friend, stop watching too much television and too many Hollywood movies, because what you see in the movies and the TV show was produced, written, and directed for that movie or that television series. What happens in real life is real life. What you see in TV and film is TV and film. And a lot of people love to copy and imitate what they see from television and film and try that shit out in the real world. And when they get their ass whooped, Don Calypso, Nigga Organ, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Ringo TV Raw, Alpha Male Strategy, I don't preach because I don't go to church, but I teach. They copy this bullshit and then they wonder why the girl don't respect them. So that's why I call it sex game, fight game. If your sex game is good, your fight game gotta be good. If your fight game is good, your sex game is good. See, everybody talk about how they can handle themselves in the fight, right? But the guys who say they can handle themselves in the fight, if they saw Brock Lesnar in person, Brock would beat the shit out of them. If they saw Goldberg in person, they run away the minute they see Goldberg. They see someone like The Undertaker or Triple H, they running for the hills. They see someone like Randy the Natural Cortel or Ice the Chuckman Liddell or Quentin the Rampage Jackson, they be like, I don't want no trouble, man. I don't want no problems. That's why I'm saying that a lot of people talk a lot of shit, but when it comes to actually back up what they talk, they can't do it. It's like what Floyd Mayweather Jr. once said: men lie, women lie, but the one thing that never lies is numbers, because numbers never lie. And I feel like that this video had to be made because I don't see no pickup artists or dating coaches talking about how to protect yourself on the street, how to defend yourself in a fist fight. Because when you go into bars and nightclubs, a lot of those fights occur at nightclubs and at bars. A lot of times when you go to the bank, that's where people get robbed at, is at the damn bank. And I feel like that because a lot of men have been feminized in this country, that it's become, I don't want to say my obligation, but it's become my responsibility to make a video, because I'm trying to figure out, why are you pickup artists and dating coaches, why are you not making this video? So I'm making the video. Okay, so one more minute and then we're done. So the sex game basically is guys that talk about how they would take down a certain female, and when the opportunity presents itself, they get what they call cold feet. They get scared. They punk out. I've seen guys say they would have sex with women 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds, like it ain't nothing, right? But then when they see a woman that's between 200 to 260 pounds, all of a sudden they go, nah, that's okay, I'm cool. Or they'll say, I'll screw a ghetto hoochie mama in her butt. And when the ghetto hoochie mama says, all right, let's do it, and the guy see how many tattoos or body piercings she got, he's like, okay, I'm cool, I'm straight. And that's what I'm talking about. That's why the video is called Sex Game, Fight Game. Think of it as peanut butter and jelly. One cannot exist without the other. Ketchup and mustard. Okay? If you cannot fuck in the bedroom, you cannot fight. If you cannot fight, you cannot fuck in the bedroom. A perfect example of this would be the movie 300 Rise of an Empire, where the girl told the main character, you fight harder more than you fuck. Translation, she gets turned on by the fact that he can kick ass, but she's a little disappointed in his sex performance. That's why they say focus on your sex game, focus on your fight game. A lot of guys who can't fuck, it just so happens to be they can't fight for shit. And the guys that can actually kick ass, they can do it in the bedroom. So if you can fuck in the bedroom, you can fight in the street. You can fight in the street, you can fuck in the bedroom. They both go hand to hand together. One entity cannot exist without the other. When you see a guy get his ass whooped, there's a good chance he can't fuck in the bedroom. And when you see a guy that can't fuck, he will not be able to fight in the street. The guy that can whoop everybody's ass like Bruce Lee can also fuck in the bedroom. That's why I put the titles together. Sex game, fight game. They cannot live without each other. One needs the other to live. It's like what Morpheus said in The Matrix. The mind can't live without the body, and the body cannot live without the mind. That's how you should look at your sex game and your fight game. See, a lot of guys talk a real good game in a street fight, but when they get their ass whooped, you be like it was just all talk. It was just all words. Same thing when it comes to the bitches and the hoes. You be saying, I'm gonna blow her back out. I'm gonna fuck her from the back doggy dog style. I'm gonna make her scream my name. And then when the opportunity presents itself, you get cold feet. And then this woman goes back and tell all her girlfriends how much of a disappointment you was in the bedroom. Another example is when a man brags about how big his penis is. And when a woman see your penis, she laughs at how small your penis is. That's why I say your sex game gotta be on tight. Your fight game gotta be on tight. Basically what I'm trying to say in a nice way, your game in general has to be on tight. And I don't see these jackass pickup artists and dating coaches talking about how to fix up your fight game. So this is only just one video introduction, and in the next video, you're going to get exactly what you want. Is it okay or not okay to have sex with porn actresses? Yes, the video is coming before spring break. I will give it to you. Peace.